Les Paul. And we know it's a reissue because it says right here, 1960.
Does it sound like a 1960 Les Paul?
You know what? Being I was just born in 1960, I don't think I would have been able to ascertain what I was listening to.
This is the profile of a rock star.
This is called a roadmap. Can you read that?
No, I'm not in focus.
This is a roadmap for dummies.
And this could be like kind of like my tiger beat pose.
Plug in the producer mic, Will.
What are you going to be playing here today?
I'm going to be playing Smoke on the Water.
Smoke on the Water.
You.
Boom. Oh, wow, that's impressive. Don't get caught in the dolphin and little tuna.
You're such an intimidating presence. You can't really see the Reaper scythe he has behind him for too many errors played. I don't recognize you without your black hood.
That's the top part.
She's a killer.
Yeah, because it's kind of weird. It goes F to B flat, then the Queen starts on D minor, but when it bends up, it ends up on F major.
The mode.
Stream.
Oh, raw Rebra. Wardrobe makeup to Scott Dugdale's trailer, please.
For all you people listening at home,
I see it in your eyes. Take one look and die. The only thing you see, you know it's gonna be the ace of spades.
we done? Can I
We're
go
done.
home now?
You can go home for today, but only for today.
Okay.
Don't get caught in the dolphin and little tuna. If you do, it will be awful cruel. Let's waste more time, little tuna.
This is Ryan Lesser, art director and lead artist on Guitar Hero.
And this is Matt Gilpin, lead character artist on Guitar Hero.
So we're going to talk a little bit about the backup band in Guitar Hero. So Matt did these drawings as well as the model.
So this is a singer. He's a little over 3,000 polys. He has a lot of polys in his face because he's going to be opening his mouth and singing. He eventually just became a basically metal singer.
Yeah, we wound up going with sort of the 80s Battle of the Bands kind of guys. They've all got the black tees and the gauntlets and the white Reebok high tops and stuff. Total throwback from our childhood. So this drawing was done by Jennifer Lesser. She was originally slated to be one of the guitarists, but we wound up not using that genre. She came back as a singer, which everyone really loved, especially once we saw the mocap on top of her. She looks really, really hot.
Yeah. She was fun to model.
Yeah, she's definitely got like a pretty rock and roll vibe. Headband, dreads, ripped up jeans. She's pretty good looking.
And a bassist.
Yeah, the bassist started out with no beard. We really loved him, but I wanted to throw a beard on him. I thought it made him look a little bit more hardcore. And then so Matt built this character. So this guy's got, like, we got really lucky. His animation is just awesome.
Yeah.
You know, I think we got away with one animation for him the whole game. This guy eventually wound up being everybody's favorite guy in the whole game, even more so than a lot of the guitarists. He's like an in-house favorite. Him and the keyboardist are way up there. Drummer was drawn by Matt and, of course, modeled by Matt. He did all the characters.
Yeah, he's just like beefy member of the band, like muscular.
Yeah, you can tell from the band that we were trying to exaggerate proportions on characters, which we obviously did in the Heroes as well. But you know, we wanted the sort of hot dog, tall, skinny bassist, and the hamburger, short, squat drummer guy. Headband is essential.
Yeah, headband and wristbands. Yeah, here's Larry, the keyboardist.
Yeah,
he's only in the band because he's the cousin of the drummer.
This guy is awesome.
Yeah.
If we had the time, we would have made him a Guitar Hero Unlock where you could play guitar with him. He's just super awesome. So this is Judy Nails, the Alterna rocker. You can see some early versions of her there where she was a little bit more tame and a little bit more girly. And once we met up with Judita, our mocap actress, we kind of stole her look because she was a pretty good rocker. Judy Nails' moves are basically Judita's stage moves. She's in a band and she had a lot of really good moves just by herself, so we sort of threw the script away and let her do her own thing.
But she just, I don't know, she just always, I just like her, she always works pretty well. Her mocap is awesome.
She's a good one to look at for crazy proportions because her arms are super long, and her fingers too. So this is Clive Winston, our classic rocker. He went through a lot of iterations, but in the end we wound up going with a sort of bell-bottomed classic rocker. Definitely a blend of a lot of old school rock and rollers, but kind of made him our own, gave our own slant to him. He's got a lot of the classic moves that people will find really familiar, like the windmill and the running in place and the freaking out on the floor. One of the guys here accidentally put Judy Nails' animation on him, so he's doing a little prance. But our system can handle that. We can put characters' motion on other characters really easily, which is super helpful.
And fun to watch.
Yeah. In game, his moves are very slick and smooth, kind of psychedelic in a way.
And this was our...
He was supposed to be the rap rocker, and originally I really loved those early drawings, but he wound up being too big for the game, and also people didn't respond to him as well as some of the people in-house did. So now our hip-hop rocker got turned into a modern rocker, and that's Xavier Stone. But it's interesting, all of his mocap was shot as if he was a gigantic big guy who was going to be kind of meaty and push his weight around and do a lot of stomps. When we switched him to more of a modern rock guy, the moves still worked because we made him a very fit, kind of heavily physiqued guy, so he works out well. Axel Steele is our resident metalhead. He started out as sort of a chubby, short, dwarfy guy, but as we developed the crazy proportions in the game, we decided to make him the biggest hulking guy, which is sort of like the big giant metalhead bullies in high school.
Kind of, I think I drew the sketch because it was like, I just remember when I was a kid, like, when I was in junior high, there was a bunch of these guys running around.
Yeah, these are the guys that in high school had Rush and Led Zeppelin album covers painted on the backs of their jean jackets and went outside during gym and smoked, and his moves are very much reminiscent of death metal, black metal, and thrash metal guys that exist out there for the past 20 years. Here you can see old versions of Pandora, our new metal rocker. She used to have long hair in front of her face, but we found that to be kind of annoying. We wanted to see her emote. She's covering a lot of the goth new metal genres by having the cool latex and the darker colors, the face paint. Her hair has been giving us a lot of trouble in game, but just recently we started working on different physics models for her, and now her hair is really nice and liquidy. I like Pandora's proportions a lot because she's still kind of sexy, but she's got a kind of Nightmare Before Christmas kind of feel to her. Her legs are very straight and pointy, but still I think she's pretty foxy.
And she's one of the characters that like really came alive once she had a facial animation. For some reason, just really brought her out.
So this is the punk rocker Johnny Napalm. He went through lots of funny names and lots of funny shapes and sizes, but we eventually wound up with the long, lanky punk rocker, which we really love. He's actually starting to shape up as possibly the face of Guitar Hero. We were going to avoid the mohawk, but in the end we just kind of liked it the most, and so we went with it. His shirt is giving props to Rob Kay, our game designer. We made him a Brit rocker.
And he, I love the way he holds his guitar in the game. He has like kind of a hunched shoulder. It looks great.
This is what Daniel Sussman wants to be when he grows up.
Yes.
Here's the crazy hair metal guy. We wound up naming him Izzy Sparks, actually after Izzy here in the audio department at Harmonix. Of course, he looks nothing like Izzy.
Yeah.
But you can see he's got a good mix of sort of 80s hair metal and 70s glam rock. But he's got the classic hair metal face paint and the kind of long mullet, hairsprayed mullet. His moves are all really flamboyant, which I think is really fun. It's like watching a Poison concert.
He's one of the guys that, it's too bad his hair animation isn't playing. I think he has some of the best like hair animation in the game. It's simple. It's just kind of like waves around and bobs, but it works the best.
So this is the Grim Ripper, who was one of our craziest characters designed. We had lots of different designs for our super secret last unlock, and we wound up settling on the Grim Reaper. He originally was sort of toned down and all black cloaked, and then I did a pass on Matt's drawing, and colored them up a bit to make them pop a little bit more on stage. The Ripper gives us a bunch of animation issues. We had to write a whole subsystem to keep his cloak on the floor because he's using regular mocap data with legs, so the bottom of his cloak kept pulling up and exposing just dead air. And he's takes in the tradition of a lot of older video games where the boss actually has a set of moves from all the other characters in the game. So he's sort of like a super character. He gets the coolest moves from all the other characters. So that's the band and the heroes from Guitar Hero. Hopefully that was fun for you guys to watch and informative, and thanks for playing the game. Hi, this is Ryan Lesser, art director at Harmonix and lead artist on Guitar Hero.
Hey, I'm Matt Moore. I did venue lighting and venue construction for Guitar Hero.
Hi, and I'm Rob Kay. I'm lead designer on Guitar Hero.
This is the making of movie for the Guitar Hero venues. So here's some concept art for the basement venue, the first venue that you play in the game.
There's the mom, telling everyone to be quiet.
These are all drawings by Scott Sinclair.
It's supposed to be a basement at a party, you know, lots of blue and red cups around.
So here you can see in 3D Studio Max, we're just opening up the venue so people could see the model and the texture maps and the geometry that we've built. This venue was really trying to be filled with all the kinds of junk that you see in a typical basement: cinder blocks, milk crates, crappy old rugs. any of you that have been in a band, you know that you tend to fill these little practice spaces with rugs and mattresses and stuff to soak up the sound so that your neighbors don't go crazy on you.
It was basically my apartment 2 years ago.
There's a bunch of interactive elements in all of our venues to show you how well you're doing.
The basement was sort of a challenge because we want to have good feedback for how the player's doing in every venue.
In this venue, you know, we have the furnace and the washing machine, both of which start going hippity hop when you're doing really awesome. And
yeah, when you get in a great state, the windows behind the band show police arriving.
Right.
Police lights.
So this is concept art that Scott Sinclair did for the small club, which was really inspired by a bunch of the kind of New York classic rock clubs.
So this is the second venue in the progression. So you've actually got your first kind of real gig and starting to work your way up the ladder.
This room has a really funky shape, which makes a lot of the camera work really cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's any 90-degree angles in this entire venue. Maybe the game.
Which is
sort of Guitar Hero.
Sort of a rule in Guitar Hero, no 90-degree angles. The feel of these venues was really meant to give you the sense that you were there. We've made games in the past where we purposefully wanted to make the game feel like you were watching a televised event of a specific musical show, whereas here we wanted to really feel like you were at a club at 2 a.m. watching some awesome band.
I think this venue was one of the first that we really nailed, and stylistically I know that I thought that this was the one that really brought together the kind of kooky angles and cartoony style that Ryan was so keen to get.
I love the bar in this room. Scott and I worked on that for a little while, just getting a really wacky shape and cool little stools and the inset liquor cabinets with like the sort of absinthe style glowing liquor. So these are drawings that Mr. Matt Moore did. These are for the RedOctane level, which is the medium club. Kind of as you're getting bigger and bigger, this was also inspired by a lot of Boston mid-sized clubs.
So by this stage in the Guitar Hero career, you're going pro, you're kind of halfway through and starting to rise and get noticed.
RedOctane as a name is really good as a club name because it gave us a lot of visual imagery that we were able to incorporate into the club. We went with lots of pistons and engine parts and gears and cogs, and it just made for a really cool environment. Again, we're showing the edges of a lot of these polygons so you can see exactly how they're sculpted. A lot of these have textures that are anywhere between 32 pixels by 32 pixels up to, could be 128 by 256. It's funny to see how crummy the fan looks in 3D Studio Max, but once it goes through the engine and Matt does his magic on it, it looks pretty awesome.
As you saw with the fan, it's animated, and a lot of the animated components we tried to link in with your game performance, so the better you do, the more excited the venue becomes. So this is the kind of place that is like taken over by the rockers, but is often full of Euro trash.
Yeah, they kick the rockers out at 10:30 so that the dance party can start. This is the theater. This is sort of a revamped old theater turned into a modern rock club. There's a bunch of these up in the Northeast for sure.
This could be my favorite venue, actually. I think the lighting in here is awesome. The whole thing kind of comes together as a rock show in a
Yeah, for a long time this was absolutely the worst venue we had, and then all the guys on the venue team just totally brought it up, and now it's probably one of the best.
Yeah, I think this was the last that everybody really worked on, and we sort of hit our stride.
There's a good example of a venue where we were able to let loose with our style. There's a lot of totally unrealistic stuff in here. The skull balconies and the purple smoke that's very kind of old, cartoony looking. The big gigantic wall of speakers in the background. This venue was the first time that we experimented with less traditional special effects like the cartoony smoke. This one we started off doing regular particle systems, but eventually transitioned into something I wanted to try, which was more geometric, exaggerated shapes. So this is the Toxic Fest, which is sort of an outdoor giant show with skaters and those giant buses that have big video screens in them. And
this is one venue that's gone through a bunch of changes. It was originally supposed to be daytime, and it's sort of become Sunset now.
Just our only outdoor venue.
Yeah. We tried to stay away from outdoor venues, mostly because most of our design was centered around the kind of cool lighting you can do at a rock show, and if it was a outdoor show that happened to be during the day, we would lose a lot of those tools that we had at our disposal. There's the skate half pipe, where in-game there's a really funny model and a really funny animation. It's like a single model with a single animation of this guy doing just tons and tons of 360s and stuff.
Tony Hawk, eat your heart out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those pine trees are, of course, not white and purple in the game.
They're not even in the game.
Oh, really? Have they been cut?
They're 2D now.
Oh. So this is the arena, or the stadium, the last venue you go to. This venue is split up in a way where there's sort of good on the right side and evil on the left side as the pinnacle of the game, the great fight between good and evil. And you can see that other than just having the dragons and the god of good on the right, there's the separation of color in the venue. The whole left side is red and black, and the whole right side is white and blue. And that sort of gave a good setup for the entire environment. Different cameras in the game, depending on what you're doing and how you're playing, will give you a drastically different viewpoint on this world. It'll either be lots of blue or lots of red.
This venue is a good example of putting the detail where it's needed too. If you look at the back of the venue, it's a lot more sparse, but there's lots of action and excitement up front where the cameras are going to be looking, where the Guitar Hero is.
There you can see really clearly all the crowd. We have those 2D planes out there that simulate crowd that once it gets in engine, it all gets turned into cool 3D guys dancing around and girls jumping. So that's the end of the making of Guitar Hero Venues movie. Hope you guys had a good time. Hope this was a little bit insightful to you, and hope you have fun playing the game.
Yep, thanks for playing.
Enjoy it and go and spend some money on some guitar unlocks or songs, and don't waste your money on these movies again. It's not worth it.
Is it okay if we rock? Yeah, okay. Hey, I saw you standing, I saw you smile. You look enchanted, let's dance for a while, for a while. Hey, I know it ain't easy, I know it's hard. You leave yourself open, you're gonna get scarred. Yeah, I'm still scarred. I love everybody, I love you. You're the only friend I got. I wanna do stuff too. Well, hey, you took my soda, you stole my fries. I thought you were honest, but then I got wise. Yeah, I got wise. Hey, yeah, let's take a vacation, just me and you. 'Cause I got a secret, and you've one too. Oh yeah, you do. I hate everybody, and I love you. We could save the world, but we've got better things to do. Hey. sound. Can't fill my head with sound. My head with sound. Thanks.
Alright, this is Callout.
I've been laughed out of rain. Now you're flying off the handle, just can't handle anything. Stay away with the comfortable with me. Not smarter than this time, but hey, call me a waste, call me an idiot. It's just insane. Behind, yeah, call me out, call me a real bad time. You talk your shit, don't call me anymore. For your tricks inside her hands, but now I know I've been a fool. And now you're crowd across the door, yes, but we look in front of you. But you're crazy like me. Back home, nobody's waiting back home. Call me a waste, call me an idiot. It's just a test, what's left behind? Yeah, call me out, call me a real bad time. Don't talk your shit, don't call me anymore. With the plunges, I've been left out of the ring. Now you're flying off the handle, can't handle anything. Play away with something solid from the meat. That's why the ringing time that I have been. Call me a waste, call me an idiot. It's just a test, what's left behind? Yeah, call me out, call me a real bad time. Don't talk your shit, don't call me anymore. Call me a waste, call me an idiot. It's just a test, what's left behind? Yeah, call me out, call me a real bad time. Don't talk your shit, don't call me anymore.
Oh, thanks.
I can't believe you threw my old beer at me. Wait. All right, here we go. This is Guitar Hero. Come on, everybody! Go! Let's have a big round of applause for the Acro-Brats.
Thank you, Jason Kendall. Yeah.
Thank you, everybody, really. Stay tuned for the Kids from the Graveyard Barbecue.
Yo, Chino the Church going out to everybody at Harmonix. Chris Richter, the Boo, Daniel, everybody else up on the 6th floor in Central Square. Yo, front to back, there ain't no play. This is the second and last song tonight. La hand your father, la hand your beer, the Messiah, you say he believes, so don't be the kid. Give it to me, tell me your